Welcome to Minute of Meaning, where we explore the hidden psychological depths of our daily lives and the secrets to true success. This is the story of a young man named Simon who possessed intelligence, charm, and a burning desire to change the world. Simon had a peculiar habit that felt productive but was actually destructive. He loved to announce his grand plans before starting them. Whenever an idea struck him, he would immediately gather his friends to share the vision, basking in their premature praise and applause. He would post detailed announcements on social media, watching the likes and supportive comments roll in, feeling a rush of intense satisfaction. His brain was flooded with dopamine, the reward chemical, tricking him into feeling as though the hard work had already been accomplished. However, the reality of his workspace told a different story, one of silence and inactivity, where the actual labor was never started. Because he had already received the social reward, his brain saw no reason to endure the struggle of actually doing the work. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, while his ambitious projects remained nothing more than words floating in the empty air. When people asked about his progress, Simon would stutter and invent vague reasons for the delay, feeling a deep sense of shame. Slowly, his reputation began to crumble, and people stopped believing his grand promises, seeing him only as a man of empty words. Feeling lost and defeated, Simon wandered through the city park, wondering why he possessed so much talent, yet achieved absolutely nothing real. He stumbled upon a small, serene garden where an old man was working silently, moving with a grace that commanded immediate respect. The gardener looked up, his eyes holding the wisdom of decades, and invited the troubled young man to sit on a wooden bench. Simon confessed his cycle of excitement and failure, explaining how his energy always seemed to evaporate the moment he shared his plans. The old man did not offer advice immediately, but instead placed two identical seeds on the table between them, waiting for a moment. He told Simon that these two seeds represented his goals and dreams, holding the potential for massive growth or complete and utter decay. He took the first seed and buried it deep within the dark soil, covering it completely so that it was hidden from view. This seed is placed in total darkness, isolated from the eyes of the world, where it must struggle alone to find its roots. He then took the second seed and placed it on a decorative plate, fully exposed to the sunlight and the admiration of others. "Look at how beautiful this seed looks in the light," the old man said. "Everyone can see it, admire it, and praise it." "We will wait and watch," the master said, as time passed and the seasons began to change around the silent little garden. In the darkness, the buried seed was fighting a lonely battle, using all its internal energy to push against the heavy, crushing earth. Meanwhile, the seed on the plate remained comfortable and visible, but the sun that illuminated it was slowly drying out its vital essence. Finally, the buried seed broke through the surface, transforming its silent struggle into a vibrant, living plant that reached for the sky. But the exposed seed, having spent its energy being seen rather than growing, had withered away, becoming nothing more than a dry husk. The old man crushed the dry shell in his hand, letting the dust blow away, leaving Simon with a profound realization about life. "Growth requires privacy," he explained, "for the roots must establish themselves in the dark before the branches can ever dance in the light." Simon realized that by seeking validation too early, he was exposing his seed to the sun before it had time to root. Psychologically, when you announce your goals, you create a social reality that tricks your mind into feeling the task is already done. This premature sense of completion reduces the tension and drive that is biologically required to push you through the hard work ahead. Your mind confuses the talking with the doing, giving you the satisfaction of the winner without you ever running the actual race. Simon returned to his chaotic life, but approached it with a new strategy, choosing to bury his ambitions in the fertile soil of silence. He worked late into the night, resisting the urge to pick up his phone and broadcast his progress to the waiting digital world. When temptations arose to seek easy praise, he remembered the dried seed on the plate and chose the darkness of the soil instead. It was not easy, for the darkness is lonely, and there is no applause when you are struggling with the first difficult steps. When people asked where he had vanished to, he simply smiled and gave vague answers, protecting his growing energy from leaking out. He was building pressure, accumulating a massive reservoir of potential energy that had no escape valve other than the completion of his work. Months passed in this productive solitude, until the day finally arrived when the work was truly finished, polished, and ready for the world. He walked into the meeting room, not with empty promises, but with a tangible result that spoke louder than any words ever could. The applause he received that day was not the cheap dopamine of social media, but the deep, satisfying respect earned through genuine achievement. He returned to the garden to thank the mentor who had taught him that the most powerful forces in nature work in silence. The tree had grown tall and strong because it had spent its early days focusing on its roots rather than trying to impress the sun. We live in a noisy world that demands constant updates, but you must have the courage to disappear and work in the shadows. Let your results be the only noise you make, and let your success be the explosion that shocks everyone who thought you would quit. Simon became a leader who spoke little but achieved much, understanding that the gap between saying and doing is where dreams go to die. Those who talk are often trying to convince themselves, while those who do are too busy working to worry about what others might think. Success is like an iceberg. The world only sees the tip, but the massive foundation is built alone, in the cold and the dark. The next time you have a great idea, resist the urge to pull out your phone or tell a friend about your brilliant plan. Hold that idea close to your chest. Protect it from the air, and let the pressure build inside you until you must act. Embrace the loneliness of the process, for it is in the quiet moments of struggle that your character is forged and destiny is written. Your life story should not be a preview trailer that gives away the plot, but a masterpiece movie that leaves the audience speechless. Nature never announces the coming of spring. It simply works silently through the winter until the flowers bloom as undeniable proof of its power. There is a profound freedom in secrecy, a liberation from the expectations of others that allows you to make mistakes and grow without judgment. Keep your bottle sealed, keep your energy contained, and direct that explosive force into the only thing that matters, the work right in front of you. History is written by those who sat in rooms alone and did the work, not by those who stood in the town square talking. So today, make a promise to yourself to be the seed in the soil, not the seed on the plate for show. Delete that post, cancel that announcement, and step back into the shadows where you can build something that will eventually shine on its own. Time is the soil, and your effort is the water. Do not let the harsh sun of public opinion dry out your potential. Pass this wisdom on, not by your words, but by your example, showing others that the quietest people often have the loudest minds. Just as the stars do not beg for attention yet capture our gaze, your silent achievements will naturally command the world's respect and awe. Build your foundation deep when no one can see, so that when the storms come, your structure will stand while others crumble and fall. Years later, Simon looked back not at the things he said he would do, but at the forest he had grown with his own hands. He understood that true happiness comes not from the applause of the crowd, but from the quiet satisfaction of a job well done. Think of silence as the drawing back of a bowstring. The more you pull back and hide your intent, the farther you will fly. The path to the summit is narrow and often lonely, but the view from the top is reserved only for those who keep climbing. Your potential is infinite, waiting inside you like a dormant seed, begging you to give it the dark, quiet conditions it needs to ignite. Remember the formula for a meaningful life. Embrace the silence, focus your energy, take massive action, and let the results speak for themselves. You do not need to prove anything to anyone with words. Your life is your argument, and your success is your ultimate vindication. Close the door on the noise of the world. Sit down in your chair and begin the work that you were born to do. Protect your flame from the winds of opinion. Nurture it in the shelter of your privacy and watch it grow into a roaring fire. So, what is the big project you are planning next? Do me a favor and keep it a secret, even from me. Let the sunrise be your teacher. It makes no noise as it rises, yet it warms the earth and sustains all life upon it. If you are ready to embrace the power of silence, comment, "I am silent," below, and start your journey of quiet execution today. Thank you for watching Minute of Meaning. Remember to subscribe for more insights, and may your silence be the loudest thing about you.